Welcome to the Swell Suite, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. So today our special guest is Mailynh Phan. She is the CEO of RD Winery, which is the first Vietnamese-owned winery in Napa. Mailynh and RD Winery are bringing their culture to the wine world, and they're doing it through wine and food, and I think it's amazing. Listen to her full story here. Cheers. Welcome to the Swell Suite. Happy Wine Wednesday. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Is it Wednesday?
It will be when this episode comes out.
Oh. So now she got to edit this out, Glennis. What are you doing?
Because
is today your first day?
It's fine. It's Monday.
Your first day, Glennis?
No days, man. You know, I don't like Monday to start with. So I'm like, wait a minute. What? Did I miss 2 days?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
How y'all doing? How was your week?
Everybody?
Yeah, I know, right? It's Monday. It's a rough one.
Right.
I think we lost an hour, but I mean the weather is very spring-like, so that makes it a little bit better.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Well, it was cold. It was like supposed to be really warm this one day this weekend. Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday.
Yeah, it was breezy because I was outside most of the day.
It's like, okay, this is not warm.
We still haven't done daylight savings yet, so
I'm enjoying this little hour.
No, I think it might be next week.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. So I'm enjoying the earlier time that we're doing the show for me.
Gotcha.
It's great.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So I came across, really quick before I came across these 2 articles I saw today. Tanisha, tell everybody what they have to vote for. I saw your post.
So I was nominated by the Wine Travel Awards for a Brightest Journey award for being a wine and food influencer, and it's for the Italian season that I did for my podcast. It was because I showed great promise in wine tourism and by promoting that region of Italy in the podcast. So yes, you can go to my Instagram or Facebook to get the full address, but it's winetravelwars.com, nominee Tanisha Townsend, and Sarita's probably gonna have it in the show notes because she's on top of everything. Please vote for me. I'd love to win. It would be nice. It would make my year. So yeah, we love an accolade.
When we get them, child. When we get them.
Yeah, gotta take them when you get them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely do it.
And so I was scrolling through the drink business today, and I saw these 2 articles. The first one is Cava. The Cava DO is up by 17.3% in 2021. So Cava is growing. The popularity is growing. I hope the prices don't go up. But as you all know, that's one of our favorite regions. So happy about that.
The price is going to go up.
Yeah.
Prepare your mind.
I mean, wow. Okay, so this other article I saw, I think how you pronounce this winery is Lavabella. So it's a winery. I forgot where it is, but they released this wine called Purple Rain in 2015. And Prince's estate decided that they needed to sue them over the name.
Just now?
Well, this year. Yeah, and Prince didn't die till 2016. So the timing, I don't know. Like, I don't know legally, like, how this is going to go, but
why did they think they could call it that, though?
Exactly. If you can't mess with nobody else's content, trademark. It's Prince.
Right.
And like Purple Rain is like a big deal. It's not like it's something that was, fairly small and people were just like, oh, well, they're not that big. We're not that big. It's fine. No, Purple Rain been huge.
Yeah.
Well, we just have to pray that he had a trademark or copyright. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, and the winery is defending themselves, and they're using this logic that Prince didn't even like alcohol. He doesn't even drink. We weren't using him to promote that wine. It does not matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah. No, it's the same name. You can't use the same name.
You cannot use the same name.
Yeah. I mean, he could have named it anything else. It could have been called like Pink Rain. Like that would have been fine. Mm-hmm. There are other colors. He could have said Violet Rain, and like that would have worked.
Yeah. So it says in 2019,
when you do stuff like this, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. So it says in 2019, they received the trademark for the grape wine branded as Purple Rain. This is the winery. They did their homework, I guess, but I wouldn't have messed with it.
Well, it's going to depend. If sorry, Prince, love you to death. Everybody might know it, but if he did not trademark it and there was a trademark available for the name, they might win it.
I can't see that wasn't trademarked by the record label, the movie, like something in there had to be trademarked. Somebody should have
trademarked. Yeah, I agree. I totally
agree. Like somebody did. Like otherwise, people be just grabbing all kind of random names. But like at some point, something in there is a trademark that you can't use it again.
Well, I hope the trademark and patent office didn't screw up, because they shouldn't have gave them a trademark on it.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that they really want to fight this, I'm actually a little. I don't know how I feel about that. But I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah. So we have a really special guest today, Mailynh Phan. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Welcome to the Swirl Suite. We're so excited to have you here.
Oh, well, I'm excited to be here.
Are you pacing back and forth now?
I'm just shaking my legs around a lot to reduce that extra energy. Yeah.
Awesome. So please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, my name is Mailynh, obviously, and I'm in the wine industry. I'm the CEO of Napa's first Vietnamese-owned winery. And yeah, that's me.
So you're a lot more than that, but we're going to get into that. So tell us about like your first introduction to wine. How did it even get started?
Well, I think my start, so I work at RD Winery. And I think unlike a lot of people in the industry, I wasn't born, well, in this industry, in this area, I should say. I wasn't like born into wine. I didn't grow up crushing grapes. I didn't think that wine was going to be what I wanted to do. And I grew up on Long Island in New York, in the suburbs. And I graduated college in 2009 and went to New Zealand and was hanging out. And I got an email from my cousin, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to help me run a winery?" And I was like, okay, because at the time I was working in a deli, slicing meat and making them into little rosettes. Like that's what I was doing. And I thought, all right, well, let me go do that and see for a little while, because I had no idea what I wanted to be. And so I moved to Napa, and my cousin's husband is the chairman of the board in Vietnam. And my little cousin that was supposed to help me run the winery, he stayed here for like 3 months and then left, because moving to America is like not very exciting if you're not from here, because he didn't really speak the language very well and all of that. And so since then, I've been managing the winery.
So what's the job of a CEO at a winery like?
Well, I think that, when you think about the CEO, I think you think there's like this huge company behind it. But at the end of the day, we're still a really small company. There's like 10 of us or 12 of us now. And it means wearing a lot of hats. It means that every day there is a problem, and whatever that problem is, I need to figure out how to solve it, and also stepping in. So we just had a change. Our assistant winemaker, he left at the end of January. And so then I've been the assistant winemaker, pseudo interim assistant winemaker for the last month, filling in. And then before that, I was the tasting room manager for a couple months, which I've decided is not my favorite job. And whatever it is, like every day, it's just something, and then trying to solve a problem of some sort, any kind of problem. I mean, like the wastewater system doesn't work. So what do you do now? Like, who do you call, or whatever it is?
That actually happened when I worked at a winery for a while.
The wastewater system, or being the tasting room manager?
Oh, no, the wastewater system. Something happened, and, it was in the middle of, the tasting experience, like in the middle of the day. So we had to shut it down and send everybody home, and they had to figure out what the issue was. It was messy.
Yeah, I feel like everything is like that, where even you like planned a bottle and you're like, okay, I hope everything will go well. It like never goes well. I mean, there's always something that comes up and you have to come up with a new solution. And I think that's what I like about it, is that I don't really know what's going to happen every day. And I don't know what the world will throw at me. And then I just have to figure out how to come up with some kind of solution and get us through it.
What varietals are you producing at your winery? Or
So
do
we
you
have,
do? Go ahead.
sorry, we have 3 different brands: Fifth Moon, 100 Knot, and Kwai. And the idea for Fifth Moon is that it would pair well with fresh and spicy food. Because we're Vietnamese, we wanted to make sure that we could also be Vietnamese in wine. And so for the Fifth Moon, it's aromatic whites and light reds. It's uncommon varieties. So we make a Chenin Blanc, a Gruner Veltliner, a Malvasia Bianca, along with like a really pretty rosé. And then 100 Knot is more classic Napa Sonoma wines. So Cabernet, Chardonnay, like those things that you kind of expect more of. And then we have the top tier, which is Kwai. And that one is Doral Vineyard Chardonnay and Gaps Crown Pinot. And the whole idea was so that we could kind of bring people in wherever they are in their wine. So if they are looking for maybe more classic Napa Sonoma, that they could have that with us. Or if they wanted to be more adventurous or pair with like their cuisines, since we know that not everyone's table is necessarily like Eurocentric style food, it was a way to be like, here's a Gruner if you have sushi, or like if you want to eat pho, and then whichever wines, we'd have the wines that they could pair with.
So do you have food in your tasting room for pairings?
We do. So when we
Nice.
first started, we opened in July of 2020. So like right smack dab in the middle of the peak of that pandemic. So it's been challenging, but you can't really pick when you're ready to open. And when we opened, it was like, you have to be outside only, which is fine. We have a patio. We didn't plan on it being the primary area where people would taste. So that was another hurdle. Like, oh, now we have to put everyone outside. And then also in that experience, it was like, here's a Gruner for people who would like mostly drink maybe Sauvignon Blanc or Chardonnay. It's like, here's a Gruner. Now imagine you're having something spicy, right? Like that's hard, you know, to get people to like imagine or having something that's just, you know, atypical. And so we decided that we needed to have a food pairing to kind of showcase the versatility of these wines and how they can pair. And that's how we got the Fifth Moon food and wine pairing, so that people can come and try and see.
Nice. And your pairings are Vietnamese food pairings. So it's Vietnamese cuisine.
It's actually Pan-Asian. So it kind of pulls from a bunch of different cultures. We have a green curry dusted popcorn that we pair with the Gruner. We have a vegetable spring roll, which is with a sweet chili tamarind sauce. That one we pair with the Chenin Blanc. But we always say that like, it's just like wine tasting is subjective, so is food pairing. It's kind of like whatever makes you happy, you know, try. We encourage people to mix and match, because you never know. Like we put Chenin and that spring roll together, but I know people who like the Gruner better at the spring roll, you know? So we pour all 5 wines and it comes out on one plate. It's really pretty. And then we tell them to like try it all and see what makes them happy.
My
Nice.
God, that sounds so good right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm just sitting over here like, what? I would just be in awe of the food, you know, especially because it's so different from traditional Napa food pairings.
Yeah.
So that's,
man, gosh,
it'll be great.
So
I'm sorry, I derailed the conversation, but I just had to.
Oh no,
this top of my mind.
No, that sounds great. So you are the CEO of Napa's first Asian-owned winery. Was that a challenge for you, or you just sort of rolled into the position?
well, to clarify specifically, we're the first Vietnamese-owned winery.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I can't tell. There's other Asian-owned wineries there. Okay. To say, yeah, it's a challenge. I mean, to be the first Vietnamese-owned winery in itself, before we think about who's managing it and who's working there, in itself is a challenge. People don't think about someone who's Vietnamese or being Vietnamese and associating that with wine. And part of that hurdle originally when we were redesigning our labels was like, can we be too Vietnamese? Like, can we become too inaccessible for people? Will they see this and think, oh, like this is just kitschy. This is like not real, you know? And so it's kind of, yes, it's been challenging to say, hey, like we're a Vietnamese owned winery. Our tasting room is designed with like Vietnamese influence. So we have original art by Vietnamese artists that are really colorful and vibrant. Everything we're doing is kind of a little bit different. So even the food and wine pairing, we're the first Asian pairing that exists in Napa. And I think Sonoma, and I don't know about the world, so I won't say that, but like maybe, you know, that's possible. So, you know, just kind of doing something different. And we're also trying to make it more affordable and more accessible too. So that food and wine pairing is like $55. If you come to Napa, you can get a charcuterie plate at some places and some wine for like $100. So we're definitely approaching it for a different market to try to make it more accessible so that more people can come to Napa and feel like they can enjoy a tasting or that they can belong somewhere. And like, that's our whole goal. But for me personally, I think being the first of anything carries a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
Like if I make mistakes, I wonder if people think, oh, that's Mailynh making a mistake, or if they're like, oh, of course she made a mistake kind of thing, you know?
Right.
No, we know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we carry that
Yeah,
that
we definitely
weight as
carry
well.
that same weight. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's an interesting burden. Some people don't get it. And in Napa, like it's predominantly white, right? And it's predominantly male. And so a lot of the meetings I'm in, a lot of the people I'm around don't look like me. That's the fact of my experience. So it is challenging. It continues to be challenging. And I'm hoping that someday it will get easier.
Yeah.
People open their minds a little more.
Yeah.
How's your winery been received? I mean, because we would love it if it was here.
Right. Oh my gosh.
In California.
So we're also like our location is on the edge. It's like on the outskirts of Napa. It's the very beginning from the southern entry point. And our building is in more of an industrial area. So part of our hurdle, not only opening during COVID, was to be like, hey, we exist. Come here, come try this, you know? And so we're still working on that because last year was the first year, I guess, that we were mostly open once we were allowed to open in February or something like that. So it's still very new, but the reception we've had from the people that we interact with, people like us. I get conversations from other people who are like, I'm so glad to see that you exist, like other Asian folks who are like, I'm so glad that you are here. And so there's a lot of weight in that too, right? It's like, don't want to fail because, you know, I'm doing something that's different and we're doing something that's different. So there's that.
Do you guys have a wine club?
We do. We have it. So a lot of what we're doing is trying to make it less exclusive, or the idea of Napa as being less exclusive. So we have the RD State of Mind, and we're calling it a community. And then that one is more typical wine, 4 times a year, 3 to 6 bottles. And then we also have the seasonal foodie, which if you subscribe to anything like the FabFit Bun Box, you know, those kind of things, it's kind of the same idea that we had, was like send 6 bottles of wine and a secret food ingredient that showcases a different maker. So the first box we had was with Amsam. Have you heard of Amsam? They're like a couple women out of Brooklyn. They're Vietnamese. They make these food flavor packets and you can cook these meals, and we paired them with our wines. So what would come is like an unboxing. You'd unbox, you get the Amsam food, and you get the 6 wines and recipes and an interview about the maker, and kind of have that experience at home. And we did the same thing again with Fly by Jing. They make an amazing Szechuan chili sauce that you can put on your food. And so every quarter, we're going to try to showcase different makers doing different things that could showcase food and wine pairing in a different way.
My God, that sounds so good.
And Am I making you hungry?
Yep.
Absolutely. You're making me hungry. You're making me want to go to Napa and join the wine club. All the things.
Yeah, that's the idea, is to really show that food and wine doesn't have to be like steak and potatoes, because not everyone does that, right? And
Exactly.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, like, Asian food is one of my favorite cuisines to pair with wine.
You might be an anomaly, but that's cool.
What?
Well,
Get
I
outta
think, well, you're really well versed in the world of wine, but I think the world of wine itself feels very exclusive to many people. Like, you don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about wine or how to talk about wine, or even drink wine. There's all these like rules and etiquette ideas that are out there. And so we're just trying to kind of tear down that wall and be like, anyone can have wine. Anyone can drink wine with their food. Whatever that dinner table looks like, you can find something to pair with. That's our
awesome.
goal.
I totally agree.
Yep.
Yeah, and I love that idea because people eat. I mean, there are people of all races and nationalities, and people eat so many different things. But when people talk about pairing wine, they're like, "Oh, we're pair it with this roast chicken dish, or pair it with a boeuf bourguignon, or you know, some other fancy type food, or something
Or
maybe
just
French
cheese.
or Italian, right? Or just, you know what, put a cheese plate together." You're like, right, but what if I want to have fried chicken, or if I want to have bobun, or if I want to have pad thai, or shrimp fried rice? Like, what if I want to have these different things? What wine do I pair with that? If I want butter chicken, or you know, a spicy little masala kind of situation, they aren't doing pairings like that. It doesn't say that on the back of the bottle, like this wine goes perfect with pad thai. Like, you don't see that. So, all right, y'all, there go the idea. Put it out there. Do what y'all need to do. I did my part.
Any other questions for Mailynh before we go to our closeout questions?
One,
Sure.
what's next for you? Like, where do you, like, I hate to say, like, well, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But what are your next, you know, like the next things that you're trying to put into place? Like, say, just for the rest of the year.
I think, well, we make wine obviously for our brands, Fifth Moon, 100 Nut and Quai, but we also, our facility itself is really large. So we also do custom crush. So we make wine for others and with others, and that's kind of our RD wine community. So we're working on growing that. We have a lot of different makers. We have an event in April that will showcase like 12 of us, and we make inside that building, there's cider, sparkling wine, beer, and all these other different still wines to kind of showcase that. And in terms of like 5-year goal or end of the year goal or any goal, it's just to really grow our business and get people out there trying the wines and tasting the different pairings that we're putting together and promoting all of that. It's just really, we're so new in terms of the brand of the RD Winery brand. It's kind of like, hey, we exist. And there's a lot of time to put in to make people realize that we are here and that we're trying.
Sarita, I do have a question. So what's your distribution like? Do you have distribution here on the East Coast?
So we sell our wine online, but because we launched our brands in July of 2020, it was a very difficult time to get anyone to kind of represent or distribute the brand. You know, people were really successful during the pandemic of selling wine, but those are brands that already existed versus like, hey, we exist. Can you pick up our wine? Meanwhile, distributors were like laying people off, restaurants were closed and all these things. And so right now we kind of have some brokerage representation in California, but our hope is to expand across the country and take over the world.
Yes, ma'am. Since you're technically a winemaker right now, what's going on in the vineyards or in the winery right now?
In the winery right now, we are just bottling for different clients. We have a small bottling line. That's what we've been up to. We just did this crazy box project where we had to build 4,706 pack boxes, which we'd never done that before, but we're a small business. So when people approach us and they're like, do you want to do this project? Yeah, we do. Like, we'll figure it out. We need to do it. You know, and so it happens. It's the hustle in the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of bottling right now and topping and things like that.
So you guys have the bottling machine in your facility, or do you have one of those trucks that wheels to the facility and does the bottling?
We have a small bottling line. We do like 1,500 cases in a day. So there's big lines, right? That'll do like 20,000 cases in a day. We're not that. We're not. We have a baby bottling line. It does what it needs to do, and that's fine. But we do have companies that have brought outside trucks to our facility. But we have some clients that are going to can, and I'm very excited for that because I've never seen canning happen in real life. And there's a canning company, I think it's in Sacramento, called the Can Van. And there's like another one called Yes We Can. And I love that they're like punny with their canning names. So that's like hopefully going to happen this year where we'll get to see people putting wine in cans or cider in cans.
It's the season for it. Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah. Someday maybe we'll have cans. Who knows? But I've never seen it happen. So I don't know what this looks like or what would happen or how that would develop.
I'm here for wine in a can.
A lot of people are.
I'm really into that.
Yeah.
They're getting better because they were okay when they first came out, but now it's a wide variety of them.
Yeah.
All right, so we just have a few closeout questions. I guess everybody can answer these. So I listened to a podcast and I heard that you like Adele. So what is your favorite Adele song? And everybody can answer if you have one.
I like When We Were Young, but I like to yell with her on all the songs because I'm not really a singer, but When We Were Young is a good one.
You're on your own with this one because I like Adele. I can't just tell you off the top of my head a name of her song until I hear it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it was. So, you're not even good.
I'm trying to pick like one. Of course, I love Rolling in the Deep, Set Fire to the Rain. I liked the song for James Bond that she did.
Oh yeah. See?
I also like Hometown. Is that the name?
Okay, Sabrina.
Is that?
Can you hum a few tunes, honey?
Right. Can we get a couple bars?
I certainly cannot.
Hometown Glory. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. I think so. But I mean, it's a ballad like all of her other songs. But yeah, listen.
I was about to say, did she have a fast song? Like it's a ballad.
Yeah.
Right, because her other songs are raps. I got it.
I know my favorite one. Sabrina, you can help me out with this. Vine Me Up, the one that they made the Go-Go song off of.
What did they do?
What is? Oh my God!
Now that's going to drive me crazy.
They sampled one of Adele's songs, and that's one of
the
hottest go-go songs ever. Okay, go on to them. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. All right. Next question. So, I saw that you used to play volleyball. Do you prefer beach or court volleyball?
I actually still play volleyball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my entire social life is based around people who also play volleyball.
Oh, that's what's up.
So we like to go and play in parks outdoor, but I prefer indoor volleyball, and I wish I could play with only women, but it's really hard to find a women's only league. So it's like mixed.
Really?
Yeah, it's real. It's I don't know why, but it just is like to get like a women's team going. I don't know.
I found that so surprising, especially in California. But cool. Yeah. That's cool.
The song is Hello.
I was just about to say, to revisit the previous issue, it was Hello. Backyard Band. Backyard did it.
Yeah.
How do we forget that one? Yeah.
And y'all locals, that's sad. Y'all need to pull it together.
At least I remembered the song. I just couldn't remember the name.
Right.
I don't remember my name some days, let somebody else's song. Come on now.
Well, these are facts. This is factual information.
Glenn and Tanisha, you guys don't play volleyball, do you?
Beach.
Girl, what?
Beach. Mm-hmm.
You sound crazy.
Play beach volleyball.
I actually like volleyball. Yeah.
Beach volleyball is hard. It's such a workout.
Girl. And when you miss that ball and hit that sand, it's a workout getting that sand out of places it shouldn't be.
And that's what I'm not doing. And I'm going to knock all my front teeth out. No, thank you.
It's a workout just standing up in beach volleyball once you hit that sand. Just getting back up.
Yeah. And you just and then you feel like you're in slow motion when you go down. You're like, oh no.
I think even running in the sand is a different type of workout.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
It's a lot of resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I prefer firm ground inside.
Understood.
Yeah.
What position do you play?
I'm a setter generally.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm short, so that's the only thing I can do probably, but
defense. You could do defense.
Okay, I guess you're right. You're right. My college team was very good.
Really high.
Oh, well, no. Yeah, my college team was very good.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Where do you order food from the most?
Probably I get a lot of sushi, to be honest.
Okay.
But
any specific place you want to shout out?
I think it's called Izakaya. It's in Benicia. We get a lot of sushi from there. Or we get like pho from the local place in Vallejo, pho number 1. Just a bunch of, I eat a lot. And
Girl, we all do, child. We all do.
Right. You are amongst your people here. Do not feel ashamed at all. I was just talking to someone about that. You know, the people that say like they eat to live or live to eat. I was like, eat to live. Like,
yeah.
No, I love to
do
eat.
both.
Right.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah. What about you, Glennis?
It depends. So during COVID, I was ordering a whole lot of Jamaican food from the grill because it's just so easy. And I was like, oh, they drop it off. I mean, I didn't have to worry about what is it going to be like when I get here. So I did a lot of that, and I had to back off of that because of the spice. I also order a lot from this Italian restaurant around here. So 2 Italian restaurants. One is Mama Lucia's, and the other one is a newest, Regina's. Well, it's Mediterranean. It's called Regina. So those are the 2. Or the most from.
Tanisha, do you get food delivered in Paris, or do you just go get it?
I go get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had much delivered since confinement when I couldn't leave. So yeah, I just go get it. It's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff at the corner. So I'll just go get it.
Oh, I'm so sure. Sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in my corner, you can run right into that wall.
Yeah. Well,
I remember.
There's a place that I like to order from. Unfortunately they don't deliver. A lot of places don't deliver to my neighborhood. I live in a food desert. That's a whole nother podcast. But it's called Nushi.
I love Nushi.
Yeah.
Girl, and what do they serve?
Sushi. It's sushi. It's your fried rices, bowl.
Fusion. It's kind of
fusion.
Asian fusion.
Yeah. But pre-COVID, they had a really nice happy hour on their rooftop.
Yep. And
their food is so good.
Nice sparkling rosé too. I used to get it all the time. Saturday after sorority meeting.
Yep.
Give me a couple bottles and some. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's the one place I order from, and it's worth me driving to get it. Like I already know it's gonna be bomb. They're gonna make it exactly like I like it, and they have the best miso soup. Yep. So I will drive.
And the drunken noodles are good. God,
is it?
The drunken noodles is phenomenal.
Man.
Yeah.
I love that place. Yeah. All right. Last question. You're also an art lover. So would you rather paint, sketch, pottery, or just collect the art?
I don't collect art. I wish I could afford to collect art. I like to sketch. But if I could take pottery classes, I've tried it once and it was really, really hard to do that thing from that movie, Yeah, that was really hard.
You talking about the pottery wheel?
Yeah. So I would say sketch. Makes sense.
And Tanisha and Glennis, what about you? For fun.
Well, you can see some of my art in the background.
Glennis got art.
Oh, wow.
Collector.
Yeah, so and in full disclosure, those are from Sip and Paint, and they're paint by numbers.
Oh, cute. That's still a good job. I can tell exactly who they are.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see, we just had one last, you can't really see it. I can't get to it from here. So I did Bob Marley Saturday. That's nice. Why my days was from. So yeah, I did Bob Marley. So I have a black and white Tupac and Bob Marley on this wall over there.
Those look great, Glennis.
Yeah. So those are paint by numbers?
Yeah. Girl,
Oh,
believe it.
man.
Those are
And it's
legit.
That's
And it's
great.
so
Great.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, for this price, I'm a whole wall because I'm gonna fill these walls up. Whoever the paint fit, and I can pick what I want. Yes. And they have quite a few different iconic ones. If you go online, you can do flowers. They got lips. They got icons. So I've done a lot of male music. So the next one's going to be Sam Cooke. So
Okay.
I know.
Oh, look at you.
Nice.
It's a series. I love
That's
it.
awesome. I like it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Tanisha, you?
I would want to sketch. I mean, I can't, but that would be something that if I could, because I just like doodle and I like calligraphy. So I think like sketching would just be a natural thing to get into.
For me, it would definitely be the pottery. I took a pottery class in high school. So we had to learn how to do the pottery wheel. And a lot of my classmates like dropped that part of the class because they just didn't want to get dirty. And you get really, really dirty. And like you got to change your clothes. It's like a whole thing, but I loved it. So I definitely would do the pottery wheel and then paint as a backup because Leslie just had her paint and sip party. And that was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I was really into it.
Yeah, the pottery wheel like requires a lot of upper body strength. Like,
Yeah. And it's a lot of coordination too, because you got to hit the pedal and use your hands. And it's a lot going on. I agree.
Yeah, y'all saying all the things that I'm not into. So
calligraphy is hard too, though.
It is.
But it is just your wrist and fingers. Like you can sit in a comfortable chair, you can lay out.
I mean, I feel like it's all in the wrist.
Yeah, you got to know where you're going to. Like when I watch Instagram videos of people with calligraphy, I'm like, oh, they know like where to end the letter to keep going. It's hard.
Yeah, but it's clean. I don't have to change clothes. Don't have to change clothes.
This is true.
I can keep on the same sweater the whole time.
So Mailynh, thank you so much for joining us. Before you go, please tell everybody where they can follow you yourself, if you want to share that, or the winery.
Yeah, they can follow the winery at RD Winery. That's the Instagram handle. It's me behind it. We're a small company, so I handle the social media. So that would be great. Just follow there.
Nice.
Awesome. So we can go straight to your website and order, and it can be shipped to us.
Yeah, everything is on the shop. And if there's any questions, you can just send an email, and it's usually one of me or someone else. There's 3 of us that will answer that email.
Okay. Awesome.
Nice. Are you packaging the food with it? For the
mean, if you need a test group, Well, guys, that is our episode. Thank you for joining us, Swirl Suite. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Mailynh, and be sure to check out RD Winery. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. Cheers.